Hey, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. This is a plotter, a handy little inexpensive tool that flight students use frequently. You'll use this a lot in your cross-country flight planning. If you want to measure a distance, if you want to find out what your true course is, this is the tool to do it. There's just a couple warnings to use this in real life. That statute miles are on one side, nautical miles are on the other. You have to make sure you're using the right units of measurement when you're planning a flight. But that's not the case when you're doing the FAA written test. This tool will get you in a whole bunch of trouble. So let's take a look at how this tool is helpful and how it might actually cause a problem and cause you to get a perfectly managed question wrong on the FAA written test. There are a number of cross-country flight planning questions on the FAA written tests. One in particular asks us to go from Mercer County Regional Airport at the bottom of the page to Minot International at the top of the page. So, being a good flight student, we pull out our plotter and we plop it down on the page, and we very carefully make sure we're using the nautical mile scale, and we line up the 0 point with Mercer County, and we look at the other end. What is the distance in nautical miles all the way to Minot International? Well, we can see right there, it's dead on 52 nautical miles. So we do our calculations based on a distance of 52 nautical miles, and we find out that's wrong. Now, the answer you calculate will be there on the test, but it assumed you made the mistake of using your plotter instead of the scale that's provided at the bottom of the page. Here's the problem. Our plotter is tuned to a sectional chart or a world aeronautical chart. Those are different scales on the plotter, and we can use those. But when you take the FAA written test, they're not giving you a sectional chart or a WAC chart. They're giving you a representation of that is not printed to scale. Part of the question assumes that you're smart enough to put your plotter up against the scale and verify that the scale of the printed chart matches the scale on your plotter. You'll notice right away it doesn't. There's an easy fix to this. Simply grab a piece of scratch paper and a pencil and make your own plotter with the accurate scale based on the scale they give you right there at the bottom of the page. It's really pretty easy, but this is a classic case where good students, well-prepared students who don't know this one little glitch in the test will use their standard tools in a non-standard environment. This is the kind of tip that can make the difference between missing a question and getting it correct. Because although your calculations might be perfect, if we start off with 52 nautical miles on a question where the distance is actually 60 nautical miles, we will be wrong. So keep that in mind. Your plotter is really useful. You'll want to keep it on hand. You'll definitely want to take it with you on test day. But make sure every time you have to do a calculation based on a distance where there is a sectional chart representation, you match your plotter to the scale to see if you're using your plotter on this one or if you're making your own distance measuring device. Thanks for tuning into the channel. I really appreciate it. The whole Mad Props crew does. And come on back, because we'll keep giving you little tips and tricks on knowledge tests, maybe a little bit of insight on your practical test, and aviation lifestyle oriented stuff, because it is something of a lifestyle or a job or a hobby or whatever you want it to be. Go ahead and click like on this if you would, and subscribe to the channel because YouTube really likes it. We'll catch you next time right here on your personal device.